As a straight male, have you ever had homosexual experiences and still consider yourself straight? No, but I've had heterosexual experiences and still consider myself gay. In the 60s I made love to many women, often outdoors in the mud and the rain. It's possible that a man slipped in. There'd be no way of knowing. Sometimes you just gotta suck a cock to confirm your dislike of it. Does wanting Henry Cavill to peg you count? The older I've gotten, the more I've realized sexuality isn't rigid. In myself and in other people. I still identify as straight, but I've had some gay experiences. I don't find men attractive, but I also think it's more of a spectrum. It doesn't matter what you identify as or your sexuality. There's no need to categorize your sexuality aside from letting others know your preferences. It's not important and emo, you should just let it go. Yes, I once kissed a friend at a party. Whenever I'm getting hot and bothered, though, it's always women on my mind. A friend of mine just straight kissed me on the lips when I dared him to in high school. Never doubted my sexuality before. But if that didn't shake it IDK, what would? Yeah, but that's because I lie to everybody and I'm actually bi. Grimace. Yes, plenty at varying levels of intimacy. In my early 20s I kissed maybe 4 or 5 men. Some many times. It was something to do while drunk at parties. And honestly, kissing is just a fun thing to do. Right before COVID I was staying with one of those friends who was a gay man, and we ended up making out quite a bit. And I was drunk and horny in general, and I trusted him a lot. So I ended up bottoming for him. The act itself wasn't particularly unpleasant. And I consider the whole thing a positive experience I shared with a close friend. But it wasn't really for me. I'm fairly open about this. But have started to keep it under wraps a bit more because I'm starting to get sick of people trying to use it to define my sexuality for me. The way I see it, if a woman experimented a bit at the same age and to the same extent I did, but said they were straight, far fewer people would question it. But people have a much harder time accepting that a man can do the same thing and still be straight. It's a part of deeply embedded toxic masculinity that I think we as a society should work to overcome. Most important, though, is to just let people take charge of their own identity. If someone says they are straight, just trust them. Create an environment where they know they will feel welcomed if they were to come out. But not one where you are putting pressure on them to conform to your expectations of straightness or queerness. As long as you say, no homo, at the end, you're good. Sure, decades ago I was in the Bay Area rave scene. Lots of people pushed the everybody is bi thing. And a few gay guys pursued me pretty hard. So I tried messing around with a guy whose girlfriend and mine messed around with each other a lot. I totally wasn't into it. My girlfriend kept bugging me to try messing around with other guys, so I tried again with a really good-looking, kinda androgynous guy. Still wasn't into it. But his girlfriend was super hot and I very much enjoyed messing around with her. So my few experiences with other guys pretty much removed any doubt that I am straight. Background. I gave my friend a handjob when we were 11 or 12. A partial handjob. I didn't know what I was doing, but he was enjoying me fumbling around. I didn't get him off, but I did nearly give him a blowjob. I don't know why I stopped, but I didn't actually put it in my mouth even though he asked me to. That was the extent of me exploring being gay, even though I really didn't understand what I was doing. We were just having fun. Despite that, I would consider myself primarily straight, with a little bit of bi-curiosity. This incident is definitely one of those, if I had a time machine, things where I'd go back and do it right. I've thought about it weekly. if not daily since then, and really wish I'd just done it. That said, the idea of finding some guy now to do it with almost repulses me because I'm just not attracted to guys. But I still do want to know what a penis tastes like, what it feels like to have someone come in my mouth, etc. I just don't want a guy attached to that, if that makes sense. No one but the boy it happened with knows about it. Not even my wife. I don't think she would receive that kind of information well, unfortunately. I was at a bar last year. I'm a male, and was talking to two girls who were roommates. One thing led to another and they started kissing after a while, and asked if I wanted to see them do more back at their place. I was obviously like, yay, but they said they wanted to see me kiss another guy. So I spent the next 30 minutes actively seeking out another male to kiss. Found one, and that's that. I got called all sorts of homophobic names and still to this day get made fun of for it. But I had a threesome with two college volleyball players. I think that's a fair trade. Do I consider myself gay? No. I'm comfortable with my sexuality. Did I do something not straight? Absolutely. And I'd do it again if the same offer was on the table again. When I was a teenager, me and a friend were curious, so we sat next to each other and jerked each other off. No kissing or any other type of touching. It just felt very mechanical. After we finished, we high-fived, and I've never had the desire to do anything like that since. I tried it. Didn't do anything for me. And now I know. I don't go around doing it after I've been drinking either though, so sounds like it's different. I was French kissed by a drag queen who thought I was gay once. She felt horrible about it. And I just stood there like, whatever. Not a big deal. The PS has me skull. Cupped a man's ball sack once as a deal in order to watch two of my female friends eat each other out. Not sure how this helps. Except that I'm sure there's a lot of dudes out there who done what would be considered gay acts, but aren't actually gay. I also think the term gay has a lot of different meanings to people. To be more specific, I cupped the dude's sack for 10 minutes straight while the girls did their thing. I consider myself straight, and also feel I got the better end of the deal. Your friend, huh? I'm not a guy, but prison gay is a thing. And in a way, aren't we all prisoners? Really though, what I mean is sexuality is complex, has a range and can be fluid. To a degree, people might have already talked about that. But just in case this next thing hasn't been discussed yet, and it's something I know about from my own experiences, it might be helpful to think about sexuality as two separate issues. 1. Attracted to sexual pleasure itself, and 2. Sexually desiring the person. Some people can experience 1. Even with the gender or sex that they're not attracted to. It's possible that your friend is like this. And that's what he means by being straight. Taking him at his word. And it matches my own experience. There's a dramatic difference between sexually desiring the person v. just feeling turned on by the sexual pleasure itself or something purely mental about it, like novelty, etc. Many people need to sexually desire the person too in order to really enjoy the experience. But not everyone is like that. And perhaps the majority of people aren't. I think this would depend a lot on context, the person's psychology, how far on the straight, gay side of the continuum they naturally are, and whatever cultural beliefs they've internalized. So what he says is definitely possible. It doesn't necessarily mean he's not bi, won't become bi, but it's possible he's not. ETA. When he says he didn't like it, he might mean that even though the sensations felt good enough to get hard orgasm, he didn't desire the partner. Or maybe he didn't even get off. But even in that case, some people are still open to more experiences. especially when it's a different context and new partner. When I was younger, this girl I was trying to date set me up. Said she sass going to show but didn't. With her gay cousin a few times. At one point he was next to me, then he leaned over and kissed me. I was a bit drunk, so I leaned into it for a bit. Once we stopped, he asked, "How did that feel?" I said, "I didn't feel anything. No, that was nice feelings. No twinge in my jeans. Nothing." He asked if I wanted to try again. I said, "I'm good. I'll wait for your cousin." She didn't set me up with him again. Turns out she wanted a threesome and I didn't make the cut.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.